2004 saw the very first spin-off of the popular series Stargate Sg-1. Now, Sg-1 being a continuation of the Stargate movie with new actors and new plot and kind of a new thread through the entire franchise, Stargate Atlantis was carrying that even further into a completely different galaxy. Now, as I've mentioned in my previous patch video, there's a lot of changes that happened based on Stargate Sg-1 versus Stargate Atlantis. There's things like the patches being completely different, but there's a lot of other details from that, most notably the uniform. Now, where Stargate Sg-1 really followed along with a military olive drab or blue or black version of a uniform with patches and a jacket and everything, Stargate Atlantis was a completely different idea. The idea of it was a civilian-run expedition, but also that they wanted to look different than Sg-1. They wanted to look so different that when you saw them side by side, that you'd know immediately which was Atlantis and which was Stargate Sg-1. Now, the best way to do this, obviously, is completely redesign. Now, they didn't just take the uniform from Sg-1 and say, hey, let's just make it a different color, and that's their uniforms. No, they completely redesigned the whole thing with some really unique, interesting detail. Starting from the bottom, they had a lot of different pairs of shoes. Mostly they all wore hiking boots. Various brands, various types, various colors. There was no really set style they had across the board. And even Colonel Shepard early in season 1 was using hiking boots, but then eventually started using more military standard type of boots. His boots, though, were very tall, all leather, and were kind of hard to even track down. We did track down a really close pair called Danners, which were really, really great. There's a number of different styles and types. My pair looks really cool. I'm really happy. Up from there, you got the pants. Now, the pants actually had a number of different kinds. And I'm not talking just colors, as Stargate Atlantis did have tan and gray as kind of their two different types of gear for various reasons. The pants were a number of different styles there as well. Now, the ones that they used initially for pretty much everybody were based off of the Fast Track pants. Now, Fast Track being a mountain climbing, hiking type of pant with pockets that were really unique, with seams that were really everywhere. It was really interesting, it was really different. So they copied that pattern, made it in the gray and the tans, and everyone got them, including the military staff. Most notably, one of the cool details was that it actually had a zipper and a snap at the bottom of its leg. Now, not all of the copies had this detail, mostly just the hero pants or anytime there's going to be a close-up. However, later on, the military got their own style. And what's really interesting about this, specifically, was they took the Sg-1 Vietnam style BDU pant, and they took the Fast Track pant from they've already been using, and they kind of meshed them together, making a Fast Track Vietnam pant. Now, the undershirts are really interesting as well. There is a large variety from here, everything from regular black shirts to custom-made t-shirts. They had long sleeve and short sleeve shirts. They had mock necks. They had panel shirts and quarter zip shirts, everything you can imagine. Most of them were custom made. Some of them look like they're store-bought, like the t-shirts and whatnot. And now we're at the jacket. Now, the jacket's actually really interesting. They had a lot of different things that were going on with these. They even changed the design as it went from season 1 to 5. The whole design of the jacket changed completely. Even though they did continue on with the colored panels, they even tried meshing those versions later on as well. However, they separated everyone in little quadrants using the colored panels. They had blue for the sciences, yellow for medical, green for technician, and black for military. Later on, actually, in the series, they did an inverted version of this costume. Now, the jacket does feature a couple really neat details. One being they took the idea from the WEP jacket of the pocket that's right underneath the patch here, and they just moved it on down towards the arm there. It had wraparound sleeves, one patch on each side, Velcroed on, of course. One really neat factoid, and was only ever seen once or maybe twice in the entire series, was that each of these panels has a zipper on each side, and that was for this little guy right here. And this was a panel cover, whether it was for an idea that when they would go on off-world missions that they would zip them up to hide the color. Now, the vest was very different from Sg-1. Now, Sg-1 had the Blackhawk medic vest, and it was a very specific vest with lots of large pouches on the front, but Atlantis, again, wanted to be a little different, yet still retain the Stargate feel. Now, if I recall correctly, the vest was called the Blackhawk Omega vest. It also had multiple design changes through its course of its life, including a newer version, which was also used on Stargate Atlantis for other characters as well as stunt vests. So there we go, there's the vest. As you can see, it's very different from the medic vest that's on my Stargate mannequin there, in that it has one radio pouch which they didn't even use for a radio at Stargate Atlantis, and then also that's a shoulder padded vest, top chest area. The rifle pouches here, which you can see, are a little more elongated. They did fill it up with multiple foam pieces as well as ration kits. It's pretty cool. And then they put the radio in another spot, mostly going to the earpiece as well. So there you go. There's my Stargate Atlantis costume. It's really fun to share this with you. This was like my first favorite Stargate franchise. I still love the uniform. I was glad to go for the whole shepherd look, including screen use jacket and pants and all these items. It's amazing to have this all and to, you know, really even put it on today to show you. Be sure to subscribe if you want to keep abreast of any of my new videos. Be sure to click here if you want to check out my Stargate Sg-1 uniform video, and click here if you want to check out my Stargate Atlantis patch video. Thanks for subscribing and liking. As always, thanks for watching.